Hello everyone, it's Annie. I am finally back. I have had COVID. I got COVID for the first time ever, at the end of 2023. So that happened. It was really bad, and you might still hear me a little congested, but I do feel much better than I did. So thankfully, I'm recovering, and I wanted to film my November TBR because it is Nonfiction November, all right? So, of course, I have plans, okay? So, I have a whole lot of books to share with you, all right? So, let's get started. So, it is Nonfiction November, but it's also Native American Heritage Month in the United States. So, I want to read some books by Native authors as much as I can, as I always try to in November. First, it is a double whammy. This is a memoir, so it fits for Nonfiction November too. This is Birding While Indian, a mixed blood memoir by Thomas C. Gannon. And this is about more than 50 years of childhood walks and adult road trips to deliver via a compendium of birds recorded and revered his life as a part Lakota inhabitant of the Great Plains. So he talks about the bird species and also talks about his traumatic time in an Indian boarding school in South Dakota. So this is definitely an important book to read during this month. And the cover just really caught my eye while I was looking at books to read this month. So definitely gonna get to this one sooner rather than later. Another memoir that I'm really excited about is The Race to Be Myself by Caster Semenya. If you don't know who she is the world champion runner from South Africa who went to the Olympics, and because she has naturally elevated levels of testosterone, was told that she couldn't compete against other women. And I'm sure we all know the story, but I really want to hear about it from her point of view. And I got this advanced reading copy for free, so I figured now is my chance to read it and learn more about her. Okay, I'm gonna keep going with the nonfiction ones, and then I'll get to the fiction ones that I wanna get to. First, we now have Ice by Amy Brady. This is a story of ice from mixed drinks to skating rinks, a cool history of a hot commodity. So this is about, you can see the Iceman on here with his block of ice, how people started harvesting ice and all the uses that we have for it in modern day. And then at the end, I believe it also touches on how refrigeration has really changed society but also contributed to global warming, and how we can possibly mitigate that in the future. So I think it's a really interesting micro history. Again, the cover really caught my eye. The cover design on this one definitely does it a lot of favors, I have to say. So I'm excited to read this. And then we also have a book I've been wanting to read since it came out last year. This is Bravehearted, The Women of the American West. So this is by Katie Hickman, who is actually an English writer, so I don't know why she's writing about American history, but I guess she's really into it. And I don't know anything else about this book except that it's about women of the American West. And because of its cover, I am hoping that it talks about women who are not white. That would be very interesting. Yeah, it says the true life story of women's experiences in the Wild West. Hard drinking, hard living poker players, prostitutes, wives and mothers traveling 2,500 miles across the prairies in covered wagons, African American women in search of freedom from slavery, Chinese sex workers sold on the docks of San Francisco, Native women brutally displaced by the unstoppable tide of white settlers. All were women forced to summon huge reserves of resilience and courage in the face of tumultuous change. Very interesting. Yeah, I have to admit I did start this one already because I am filming a little bit into November since, again, I was sick. And it's super interesting so far. So if you're a history buff and you're looking for a great nonfiction November read, definitely check it out. Okay, now on to the fiction books. First, we have two by Native authors. We have Venko, which I also have a free audiobook copy from Libro FM, so I'm probably going to be listening to it on audio mostly. This is by Sherry Demeline, or Demeline. This is a fantasy. It says, Mitty millennial Lucky St. James is bored. She lives with her grandmother Stella in a tiny Toronto apartment and has been waiting for something to happen. Then one night, a strange and irresistible impulse seizes her. She burrows into an old passageway and finds a tarnished silver spoon, humming with otherworldly energy, etched with a long-nosed witch and the word Salem. Lucky has no idea what the spoon connects her into a teeming network of witches who have anxiously awaited her discovery. Enter Venco, a front company fueled by dark money. Their witches hide in plain sight where women gather. Tupperware parties, mommy and me classes, suburban book clubs. Since colonial times, they have anticipated the moment the 7 spoons, scattered by the martyrs of Salem, will come together to ignite a new era, returning women to their rightful power. Very interesting feminist fantasy. It kind of sounds a little bit in line with, what is that book? The Once and Future Witches, a tiny bit, giving me the same type of vibes. I have read by Sherry Demeline before, and I liked her writing, so I'm very excited for this. And then we have a book I wanted to read last month. It's And Then She Fell by Alicia Elliott. I read Alicia Elliott's memoir, A Mind Spread Out on the Ground, and that was one of the most amazing books I've ever read. So I really want to read her fiction debut. This is a horror novel, and it is a mind-bending, razor-sharp look at motherhood and mental health that follows a young Indigenous woman who discovers the picture-perfect life she always hoped for may have horrifying consequences. So this one I really want to get to. It's just that the audiobook at my library is like a 6-month wait for some reason. So I'm hoping that they kind of speed that up a little and maybe buy another audio copy for me, because I know myself and I'm just not going to be able to read this physically. I need the story told to me. So yeah, so I'm hoping I can get to it this month because this is something I definitely want to read by the end of the year. Another fiction book I am super excited for that's coming out, or it just came out, I think, at the end of October, is The Berry Pickers by Amanda Peters. This is another fiction book by a Native author, and I have been waiting for this to come out with bated breath. I am so happy about this. My hold on Libby did come in, so I am going to get to listen to it very soon. This is about a 4-year-old Mi'kmaq girl who goes missing in the blueberry fields of Maine, sparking a tragic mystery that haunts the survivors, unravels a community, and remains unsolved for nearly 50 years. So this is like a historical mystery, and it takes place in Maine and in Canada. So in 1962, a Mi'kmaq family from Nova Scotia arrives in Maine to pick blueberries for the summer. Weeks later, 4-year-old Ruthie, the family's youngest child, vanishes. She's last seen by her 6-year-old brother sitting on a favorite rock at the edge of a berry field. In Maine, a young girl named Norma grows up as the only child of an affluent family. Her father is emotionally distant, her mother frustratingly overprotective. She's often troubled by recurring dreams and visions that seem more like memories than imagination. As she grows older, Norma slowly comes to realize that there's something her parents aren't telling her, and she will spend decades trying to uncover this family secret. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, I absolutely need to read this. I have a feeling it's going to be a new favorite of mine, so let's cross our fingers. And then we have some sequels. So I recently read, which you will hear about in my October wrap-up, I read Dark Rise by C.S. Pachat, and it was a really interesting YA fantasy, dark fantasy. Of course, Pachat is the writer of the Captive Prince series, which you heard all about from me, which I really enjoyed. And yeah, I was listening to the audiobook of Dark Rise with my girlfriend, and we both really enjoyed it. So Dark Air, great timing, is coming out November 14th. I already have the hold on Libby, so I'm really excited for that book to come out, and we're gonna listen to it when it does. And then, also with my girlfriend, we are reading the Bloodright trilogy by Emily Skrutsky, I think is how you pronounce her name. We finished the first 2 books already. So we want to read, I think the third one is called Vows of Empire, and we really want to read that. So we've also been listening to that in the car ride as well. So we're gonna read that, and then when Dark Air comes, we're gonna read Dark Air. So I'm very excited. All right, and that is it for my November TBR. We'll see if I end up reading more than these planned books. And if you have any nonfiction November recommendations or recommendations for books to read by Native authors, definitely let me know, because of course I want your recommendations. So let me know in the comments below. All right, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel for more bookish videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye.